is going on, my fellow movie nerds and geeks alike? Today I have another haul video for you guys.
I'm having a good time. Not.
I know. Haul videos are so plain and boring, but sometimes it's nice to see what other people have been buying. The last couple months, I picked up a good amount, but most of the summer has been a lot of pre-orders, which I'm sure if you're a big horror movie fan, you picked up The Hitcher from Second Sight and Opera from Severin, which I did too, and I'll get into those at a future time. I'm not going to talk about any pre-orders or anything like that. If you're into haul videos, physical media, horror movies, reviews, all that nonsense, do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you'd like, and we do this a lot around here, so stick around, see what we put out. As you know, I have been collecting movies since the VHS days, and I slowly got into DVDs, and now, since 4K has come along, I've been upgrading a lot of stuff, so a lot of old DVDs I've been upgrading as I come across them for cheap, so that's what this first stack is. It's a mix of thrift finds and just cheap Amazon prices, and the first one I got, Wet Hot American Summer. Now, I had this one on DVD. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time. I had to have it on Blu-ray just so I could watch it on HD. I haven't even opened this one yet. But, I'm not a huge fan of the Netflix revivals and prequels they've been doing, but this one is so funny, and every time I watch it, I find something new to laugh at. And Wet Hot American Summer, man, for my generation, this is one of the best comedies.
It tastes like a burger. I don't like you anymore.
And I picked up Into the Wild, another one I upgraded from DVD. This movie doesn't really get a lot of love because it's, most people shine the light on the book from the author that this is about. But I loved this movie, and when I was in my early 20s, watching this movie kind of had a whoa moment for me, and I picked up and went cross-country because this movie just kind of sparked it in me. But Emile Hirsch does a great job in this film, beautiful locations, just a great movie. Now this triple pack has got Goonies, Gremlins, and Gremlins 2. This one I picked up at our local Tunes, which is a little thrift record store around here. I have Goonies and Gremlins on 4K already, but I didn't have anything but a DVD of Gremlins 2, the new batch, and I saw this for $2, and I figured why not? It's a great time to upgrade Gremlins 2, and even though it's in a triple pack, pretty sick for $2, eh? And another one I upgraded from DVD is Chasing Amy. This one doesn't get a lot of love in Kevin Smith's canon, but I love this movie. It's just a cool, almost Quentin Tarantino-esque Kevin Smith movie in my opinion. I had the old Criterion DVD of this, and I just wanted to get it on HD, and me and the wife rewatched it recently, and this one still holds up for me. It's a big talky one, but I really enjoy it. Chasing Amy. And speaking of Kevin Smith, another one I upgraded from DVD was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. This was a big one for my teen years. It was so funny and, dick fart jokes and all that stuff. The humor's kind of silly, but I always have a soft spot for this one. And I just needed to get rid of that old DVD and upgrade it to HD. And this one I picked up from the Amazon Prime Day sale. I never had anything but a DVD of Shaun of the Dead, and I saw this 4K was only $20 for all three of the Cornetto trilogy, which, if you're unfamiliar, is just Edgar Wright's movies with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. And God, I love all three of these movies, but God, as a horror movie fan, you gotta love Shaun of the Dead. Hot Fuzz is a cool little movie that has so many twists and turns that you don't see coming, and The World's End is one of the greatest buddy drinking comedies that I've seen in the last 20 years. So yeah, for $20, all of these on 4K, it was a no-brainer upgrade for me.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, boy!
And these next few I picked up from Orbit DVD. For those who don't know, they do a lot of great pricing for upgrades if you want to pick up some upgrades, and they get a lot of overseas releases and you don't have to pay that crazy import fee. And also, if you haven't checked out their used or damaged discount section, they get so many lightly used copies that you can get for cheap, which for me is great for upgrading like I've been doing. But anyway, I picked up Ghoulies 2 on 4K. If you saw a few months back, I picked this up on Blu-ray from MVD Entertainment. I had to pick up the 4K because this is one of my favorite movies of all time. One of the greatest, carnival-esque set Little Rubber monster movies ever. I just love this movie, and I just had to triple dip into this one, so 4K of Ghoulies 2. And recently, this new company, Celluloid Dreams, released The Case of the Bloody Iris. Now, you know my wife Victoria and I, Vicky, love our giallo movies, and this is one we watched on Shudder a long time back, and to see that it was getting a 4K was amazing, because this is one of my favorite giallos that I've seen. Stars the lovely Edwig Fenech.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
You know how I feel about her. Mwah. But this one is so good. The transfer is amazing, the work they put in, and I highly recommend checking this out if you're into the giallo genre. This is so good, and I can't wait to see what they do with Black Belly of the Tarantula up next. Now, these are some of the used movies I picked up off Orbit. These are just upgrades I needed to get. So I got Sylvester Stallone in Cobra, Crime is a Disease, and I'm the Cure. God, I love this Stallone movie. Brigitte Nielsen, that first opening scene where he cracks open that Coors Banquet and just kills the robber. Oh my God, so good. But I only had this on a Snapper Case DVD, and I never picked up the Shout Factory Collector's Edition. So I picked this one up for less than 10 bucks. And Adventures in Babysitting. This was in the used section as well. This one was only $8, and my wife loves this movie. I like it. I prefer Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead if I'm gonna go down this realm of like childhood nostalgia, but she loves this one, and you know, I really like it too, just not as much as her. So I picked this one up for her mostly, but yeah, man, Adventures in Babysitting, a classic from my youth. And Carlito's Way on 4K. This was another one that was under $10 on their used section. I know Arrow put out like a big chunky box version of this. I don't love this movie as much as most people, but I do really love Brian De Palma's movies, and I needed to upgrade this one from DVD anyway, so why not pick this one up for cheap? And The Strangers, another one I got for a good price used. I know this one's getting a 4K soon, but I don't need this movie on 4K. It's new enough that the Blu-ray is going to look spectacular. And with the new ones, the new chapters coming out from Rennie Harlan, which I have no interest in seeing, by the way, I just wanted to upgrade my old DVD of this movie because I do really enjoy it. And to get the Shout Factory 1 Collector's Edition for a pretty good price, I figured why not, now's the time. I'm not going to waste my time on the 4K anyway. So, The Strangers, great movie. I've been getting really back into Lucio Fulci movies, and I needed to upgrade a lot of them, and I needed to pick up some that I've never seen that I've been really itching to see, which is the case for this one. Lucio Fulci's 1981 movie, The Black Cat. I still haven't watched this yet. I'm really excited to check it out. And yeah, Orbit DVD had this one used. This one will probably get a 4K soon, but really happy to pick up the like special edition of this one and finally check it out and just keep growing my Lucio Fulci collection. And I finally upgraded The House by the Cemetery, one of Fulci's greatest Italian splatter films of all time. I love this one, and I only had this one on like a big collection of Blu-rays that they did a while back, so I had to pick this one up. No-brainer upgrade. This is a classic, and if you haven't seen it, highly recommend checking it out. And one of my wife and I's favorite giallos that he did, the slasher, The New York Ripper. God, this movie is just insane, balls to the wall, fucking sexually exploitative. God, I don't even know how to describe it. It's disgusting, disturbing, gross, and the killer quacks like a duck, and it's so nice, like, seeing that New York aesthetic and just, like, the grime. This one is messed up, but we love it so. The New York Ripper on 4K, I had to upgrade it, and now was the time, because it was a good price. They had a Blue Underground sale, and all their stuff was, like, almost half off, so it was a perfect time to do it. In my haste, I forgot to mention A Lizard in a Woman's Skin from Umbrella Entertainment. This is the new special edition that they put out. This one is great. It's almost like a psychedelic giallo movie. It's got all your classic Fulci tropes in it and some wildly popular giallo actress and stuff in there. It is a lot of fun, and I definitely highly recommend checking it out if you're into giallo movies. Like Lucio Fulci, I've been trying to upgrade a lot of my old Argento titles to 4K, and I only had these two on an old Blu-ray, and I really love these movies, so to pick up like a super limited edition of them, I really wanted to do that. So I picked up The Bird with the Crystal Plumage on the 4K limited edition set. Argento's first movie, fucking fantastic, beautiful giallo film that you need to check out if you're a fan of the genre. And it's Argento, man. I really wanted to have the big chunky box of this because I do love Argento, and I just, you know, if I can upgrade it and find these for a decent price, I'm really going to do it. And of course, the other one is his second film, The Cat O' Nine Tails, in the big chunky limited edition box set. This one is also 4K. I love his first two films. I love almost everything he's done, even like some of his shitty 90s work. But to get these for the price of what it would have cost me just to get one when they were brand new on eBay, like, I had to do it. It was like 40 something bucks, which is nothing if you're talking these chunky boxes. These go for big money once they're out of print. So, no brainer for me. I picked these two up at Target, which is crazy because Target hasn't been, at least in my area, updating their physical media at all. If anything, they've been downsizing. But to see this in the wild, because I really wanted to check it out, Alex Garland's new movie Civil War on 4K. This was nothing what I was anticipating. It was fantastic, and I'm really glad he chose not to like pick a red or blue side here, but a visually stunning masterpiece. I love Alex Garland's movies, and this one has a lot to say without saying too much, and it's really violent and kind of disturbing. Civil War, man, definitely check it out if you haven't yet. I highly recommend it. And one that the horror community seemed to be putting over like crazy, Abigail. I thought this was going to be like kind of shitty, but it's made by the guys Radio Silence, who have been doing, you know, they did Ready or Not, they've done the new Scream movies. I loved Abigail. What a shocker. It's such a good time, and they got Dan Stevens from The Guest in here. It is just a hell of a good time, and I highly recommend checking it out. It was a blind buy for me just because of how many people put it over, and I'm pleasantly surprised by how much I love this. It's one of my favorite horror movies of the year. And recently, I'm sure all of you are aware that Criterion had their 50% off sale through Barnes & Noble, so I had to upgrade some. Thankfully, I have most of the Criterions I'd like already in the collection, so I didn't need to upgrade too many. So, just a few. I picked up the 4K of Trainspotting. Let me flip it around here. I love this movie. Such a disturbing tale of like the horrors of heroin addiction in England, but it's like ironically really funny and visually a masterpiece. My big complaint with this one is, look at the size of this case. It is so awkward. It doesn't fit on the shelf, like, at all. Like, it comes poking out when you stick it in the shelf. It is annoying, and I really wish I waited on this one, hoping it would get a regular case, but I had to upgrade it. Trainspotting on 4K, brilliant movie. I just wish the packaging fit on a shelf. And David Cronenberg's Scanners. This one's just a Blu-ray. I had never upgraded this movie from DVD, so I just really wanted to pick it up while it was cheap. And yeah, I'm not totally a Cronenberg fan. I like his body horror stuff, but his newer stuff hasn't really done it for me. But I love Scanners, and it's like hard not to be a fan of the amazing blowing head up scene in the beginning, and Michael Ironside is great. George A. Romero's pivotal classic, Night of the Living Dead. I had never even picked this one up on Blu-ray for some reason. It was just something I guess I was avoiding. But yeah, picking this one up on 4K, and if it's something you as a physical media collector have noticed, black and white movies on 4K just look incredible. And if it's one thing about like the Criterion releases also is like the amount of amazing special features they throw on these things. It's like, dude, if you're a fan of a movie, they do it right. And Night of the Living Dead is an all-time horror classic that I had to upgrade, and yeah, what a time to do it during the 50% off sale. Lastly, what I picked up was one particularly for my wife, Perfect Days. This one came out, I think, in 2023. It is one of my wife's favorite movies that she's watched this year. It is a great film, essentially about like the mundanity of life and just going by and what you do to pass the time and all that. It's beautifully shot and just like a wonderful, heartfelt story. But boy, does it make you feel good, and you know, it's a great watch and definitely one of the best movies of the past couple years. Highly recommend checking out Perfect Days, and the fact that it just got released and to get it for half off, had to do it. Now, I know I don't do a lot of like reviews when I do these haul videos or what I've been picking up, but if you want to see what I think about a lot of films, just follow me on Letterboxd, man. I'll leave like all that stuff in the description. I try to write at least a little blurb about everything I watch or rewatch, and if it's something I'm really passionate about, I'll write like novels on there, so do follow me on there if you want to see my thoughts on all these films. But that is it, guys. I'm sorry it's just another boring haul video. Check out what I've been buying. I love seeing what everyone else has been buying, so could be fun to check out. And if you do like this sort of thing, please give us a follow and thumbs up this video. And until the next video, you guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching these silly little videos we do. I think soon we got a lot of new hauls coming out with all the pre-orders, and we're going to be going to a couple conventions soon, so I'll have a couple vlogs and stuff like that up. And until then, enjoy our back catalog of reviews and all that, and I'll see you all at the next video. Adios.